Welcome everyone to another behind the scenes look at the making of our game, The Pedestrian. Now today I wanted to show you how we make custom meshes for our signs. Now if you see here, this that I'm standing in, this is a normal looking sign and this is what we use throughout the majority of the game. But we wanted some cool variation in materials and shapes for the character to run around inside of. And so this is something we came up with. As you can see, it looks kind of like blueprint paper or something like that. And if I go over to it, see how the mesh is deformed. There's like a normal map overlay to give it more of a crinkled paper look. And it's just kind of cool looking. So even if I go over here, you can kind of see how the paper's bending and the light's hitting it where the folds are in the paper. So yeah, kind of fun, pretty cool. And so today I wanted to show you how we were able to achieve this. You can see they're all being generated in real time. Each of these signs, Jed made a video on this in the past talking about how we can control the colors in the signs. So this yellow color, I can change to whatever I want. And then the black, I can change to whatever I want. Like a nice blue. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So yeah, we have that ability, and then we can also simply just go in here and take the alpha down, and it cuts it right out. So this is the trick we're gonna be doing today. Because we don't want to see any of the background and we just want to see the props and the forefront stuff, we'll do that, and then we could change it to like a white color. So that's pretty much what we're doing with these other ones. There's this top mesh, there's a custom mesh being generated to render all of this stuff, and then there's another mesh over here. There's two meshes. The blue is one mesh, and then the white lines, well, the thick white lines that the character is running on top of, that is a different mesh, and they're like almost right on top of each other, but close enough to look like they're all a part of the same piece of paper. So let's go ahead and try that out and see what we can get. So if I grab this right here, you can see this right here is a generated mesh. Does it show it here? Yeah. This is a generated mesh that Jed has Unity make based off of the aspect ratio of the particular sign. And this is how we make all of the puzzle pieces in our game. And with this custom mesh, we have the ability to do whatever we want with it. We can make bends and folds in it. We can squash and stretch it if we wanted to. So it really makes it really fun and customizable. So I went ahead and opened that mesh up here in Blender. And what I've done is, with the previous signs, is I simply just added some loop cuts. So let's just do that here. Add some loop cuts there. So this kind of makes for something interesting just to kind of test it out and see what it looks like. So if I go ahead and export this as an OBJ, I need to make sure that the name is exactly the same, because these are just random strings of numbers and letters to define each of these meshes, since we have hundreds of them. Now that mesh, here it is, actually you can see right here. It's showing up here. Now let's see what it looks like in the game. So if we play it really quick, there it is. It's cutting through the wall because it's out a little bit too far, so that's an easy fix. All we have to do is just take this, and it updates right away. So that's really helpful. So yeah, we've got some folds here. That looks pretty interesting. But let's try to make it look more like this is a piece of paper that's been folded a lot and crinkled up. So Yeah, that's starting to look more like folded paper. Let's go over and play it and see what it looks like. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, I like that. Let's add in a little bit more. I want this corner to be bent more. Let's give that a try. Whew. It's a bit much, but it kind of gets the idea across. You can see how this mesh is really bending up and he kind of slides across it. It looks pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and do the next part. Now that we have that first mesh made right here, we need to make that other mesh that's going to be rendering the blueprint behind it. So all we have to do is just duplicate it. I'm gonna drop it on the layer underneath so they don't interfere with each other and I can remember which one's which. This one, all I have to do is export it with a unique name. So if I go here, export, this is the same name as the other mesh, but let's just add a 1 to it. So now it's unique. And here in Unity, with that new mesh, I can add it onto here. There we go. All right, so now that the mesh is here, this one, you can't see the other one because it only shows while the game is playing, but the mesh that the character is on is exactly like this, and we'll just push this one back ever so slightly so they're not clipping with each other. So let's go ahead and take this material, drop it on here. It's not lined up just right now, but at least we have a visual. Okay, so this looks kind of funny, obviously, because we need to change the black lines to white and hide the yellow. So all we have to do is go to this, change the black to white and the yellow fully transparent. So let's take a look at it now. Nice. There it is. That looks kind of funny how he's so much in shadow. How about we fix that really quick by just flattening out the paper a bit. Now let's take a look. Yeah, that's a lot better. That squashed it down. So it's really not too bad. Take a look here. Got the crinkled paper. It's all following it pretty nicely. Okay, so why I need to have two separate meshes for these is because the blueprint needs to have unique UV space. As you can see, the grid on this one is exactly squared, but then over here, the grid is a little squashed and they're not the right size. So let's just go over here to Blender really quick. And you can see here in the UVs, it's taking up the entire image. And we don't want to do that. We want to have a very specific aspect ratio. I already took the calculations earlier and we know that it needs to be 15 meters tall and 18 meters wide. There we go. As you can see, it just updated and the grid is following exactly the same as all of the others. Let's check it out in game. Nice. The grid is following exactly where all of the props are in the scene. Everything's the right scale. This is perfect. If you guys are interested in this project, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. And if you're interested in this game, please make sure to wishlist us on Steam. That would really mean a lot. So that's really all I have to show you guys today. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.